Okay, this story I'm talking about is a lady that was a nurse that came and wanted to talk with me. And the lady was saying that she was tired of dating men that didn't have cars, that had dreads, that was skinny. She wanted a different kind of guy. And she wanted a guy that was in shape, that didn't have dreads, that took care of himself. That's what she said. Okay? She was a nurse. She was divorced. She divorced her husband. Okay? Say that they grew apart and this and this and that, and you know, he was not making enough money. This is what she was saying. She really thought she was some shit. But her husband helped her to go to school. Okay? Her husband helped her to go to school. And her husband helped her to get the house that they had. And of course, she divorces her husband and takes the house. All right? Giving you some context to the story so you can understand what's going on. So she was saying that, she deserved, because she made 6 figures, is what she was saying. When she worked overtime and all that throughout the year, she'll get 6 figures. She could make up to 6 figures. I don't know if she was really making that, because it didn't look like she was. Okay. But she wanted a man that was on her level. She wanted a better looking man. Okay. When I sit back and I think about that, listen to what I'm gonna say. Okay. Because after having a lot of thought about it, here's the situation that I must say to you ladies. Right. She was overweight. She was out of shape. She was a decent looking lady. You could tell in her younger years she looked it better. But she was never in any real good physical shape. Okay. And if men are physical creatures, and they're not talking to you, the ones you want, you're not on their radar. I'm gonna have to let you know you're not on their radar. You are not physically what the men want. Men are a physical creature. And the men with a certain amount of money, like she wanted a man that made good money, that looked nice, that take care of himself, he gonna want somebody that almost equally yoked and physical. He gonna want somebody that take care of themselves, that look nice too. It ain't mean that you gotta be a workout queen, but if you choose to not work out and you gonna put your money first, you must be gonna be offering your money to the man. And if a man got money, he don't really care about your money. So the money off the table, then all you have is physical body to offer him, and then your catering skills, and then your attitude, and then being feminine or masculine. Okay? Which he ain't gonna never want a masculine woman. He gonna want a feminine woman. But the more I look at it, ladies, this is what I'm gonna say to you. You only attracting to you the men that are attracted to you, are the men to the level you're on. Think about it. You're overweight. You're older. You out of shape. You masculine. You're not getting the men that's in shape. You're not getting the men that, because you got a house, because you got a job. You ain't offering the men none of your money. You ain't offering the men a piece of your house. So you looking more for a guy to fit in your schedule. A guy with money, you're going to have to fit in his schedule. A guy that's on a level that takes care of himself, you're going to have to get on his program. He not coming in to get on your program. So you got women that are sitting here with these job and careers. To me, it's just a job. And you're wanting a man to fit in your schedule. Listen, the lady had fish in the fish tank. The lady had dogs. The lady said, I'm looking to add you to my collection. I looked at that lady and I just nodded my head like something wrong with her. And she didn't understand that I'm not going to be part of your collection. I ain't no fish in the fish tank or your pet dog. Like, that's how she approached me. That's what she came with. That was her line. And I wasn't feeling any of that. Okay? None of it. All right? None of it. The lady is, to me, talking crazy. And then when she took off her clothes, her body looked like cottage cheese. It just dimples and dents and cellulite and wrinkles and rolls, and it just, but her face was okay. And I was trying to overlook all that stuff, okay? I was trying to overlook all that stuff. No man would have done that. They would have just said, you know what? To hell with her. She's out of here. I'm never even going to talk to her. That's why she wasn't getting the men to begin with. And her attitude towards men just was like, you're a pet. You're a collectible. You're something that, you know, she can pull out and play with and put back on the shelf. This is what she also said. This is another thing that tripped me out. She said, oh, I'm looking to, you know, when I come home on my breaks, I can get a quickie and go back to my job. And I need somebody, you know, a man to come in and give me that quickie and go back. Again, to me, everything she's saying, she wants a man to fit in her schedule. She wants a man to be on her time. Think about it, okay? What man fits that criteria, ladies? Do the man with all the money and the looks that got shit going, does he fit into that? Is that something he would be cool with doing? Or does the man who don't got the car, who is in the streets, who don't really got nothing going, who just come and lay the wood to you here and there, do he fit in there? Which man fits in there? The man there is gonna come lay the wood to you when you want him to. Sometimes he ain't doing it all the time because you still sharing that dude with the streets. That's the part she wasn't understanding. If you want the man that's in shape, you're gonna have to, I mean, her attitude towards, when she talked with me, her attitude was like some hood nigga shit. It was like some hood nigga shit. She was like acting like the dude, and I just wasn't turned on by the lady, bro. I couldn't get into the lady. It was just, you trying to overlook too many things. And I just stopped talking to her. Because I didn't really know what I was going to say to her without hurting her feelings, you know. But the lady was like, oh, I get the point. And I'm like, what point you get? You ain't had no conversation with me. She wasn't good on communicating. All she could say was what she wanted. She had nothing to offer a man. Her physical body is nothing to offer a man. You got to be extra nice. You got to be extra nice. Your catering skills have to be through the roof if you gonna have a body that's like that. And then you trying to get a man to fit in your schedule. That's not how it works when you go to a man that's on levels above you. A man that's above you is not gonna fit in your schedule. He's above you. He ain't gonna come in and fit in your schedule and he above you. You gotta fit in his schedule if he above you. I don't know what's wrong with the women when you guys go get these jobs or make this money or finally get to this point in life where you making the money. It doesn't matter to men. It doesn't matter to men. A man with money, a man that got decent money, a man with goals, a man who take care of himself, is on point with his body and got his shit together, he ain't studying your money because you ain't giving him none. Now, if you giving me some, then I'll be caring about your money. Okay, if you putting in with me, then you talking about doing that, I'll be caring. She wanted a man to fit in. She was like, oh, I got 5 grills, you know, I could cook real good. Yeah, and she was all into her fish in the tank, all into her dogs. She done took the house from her husband. He obviously helped her. She said he paid for her to go to school. After she got in there and got good with the money, she kicked this guy to the curb, which tells me he wasn't physically what she wanted. That's what happened. She went up in money. She went up in her money and felt that she could do better and she should have better because she made more money than him. She made more money. She said he was a contractor. When I listened to the story, it didn't sound like he was making a lot of money as a contractor. He was low level. But the man was with her. He cared about her. See, when a man with you, ladies, he might stay in a position because he likes his job. It ain't about moving up to men. Some men are very content with their lives where they're at, and they do real good. Think about it. He had a good job. He had his kids. He was still with the woman that had his kids. He not thinking about moving up. He not thinking about moving up. He thinking about, keeping his family together, doing, he getting his house of his dreams. She took the house, started talking about it was hers, and, he just wasn't, doing good and moving up, so she got rid of the guy, and this is the shit she was saying. Anyway, some of the women, the black women, I just don't know, like, it's some crazy shit going on within their heads. And she was black, and she just talked it crazy. And I wasn't feeling it, okay? There ain't nowhere in this lady that she was offering a real man of value anything. She wasn't offering nothing. She was asking the man that had all this stuff to come and fit in her schedule, squeeze him in when she could fit him in. That is more of the dudes you're dating. That is not the men you're looking for. The men you're looking for are men that, the men you looking for don't fit in your schedule. You fit in theirs. The men you looking for, you have to bring something to the table. Your job is not you bringing anything because you're not offering him none of your money. You coming in there and you going all out. What she told me by telling me what she didn't want was the type of men she actually dated. Hood niggas. Niggas she had to go pick up. Niggas that was in the hood. They coming over, dropping the wood off to her, doing their thing with her, beating her down and going on about their business. Some whole shit. I wasn't really feeling that, and I don't want a woman like that representing me. I can overlook a lot of things, which most men will not overlook when they gotten themselves to a certain level. They just not going to do it. And I'm starting to understand why they don't want to do it. Because a lot of the women are very difficult to deal with, especially black. You guys are very difficult to deal with. So those men are looking at shit and saying, you know what? I'm not trying to deal with no woman that she thinks she a boss. I'm not trying to deal with no woman that talking about she, making the money, because it's like dealing with another boss, and like a woman that just thinks that she's a man, masculine. It was just sad. Just these posos. But that lady was so lost. And I'm gonna tell you something. When I started talking to her, she probably thought it was me. Probably thought, he just ain't on the level I'm on. He ain't coming at me the way I want him to. I ain't coming at you that way because I ain't really attracted to you like that. I'm looking at everything. That when she took her clothes off and I looked at her body when I came to her house and she was changing her clothes and she was putting on some little shit and she was just, nothing was there. For me to get into that, I would have to set my mind to it, okay? I would have to, I came to her crib. I visited her one time to her house. Well, 2 times I came to the house, but I came in one time. And she gave me like a little layout of the house, walked me through the house. I mean, that was her pride and joy, but she not looking at the fact I'm seeing that she took it from her husband. So when she brought me there, she had, changed her clothes in front of me. So I already knew what time it was. She changed her clothes. She was drinking some wine. I already knew what she was wanting. But I also knew I also wanted to know where she was coming from. Like what was her real situation? Is she dealing with anybody? Is she involved with anybody? Her husband was still coming around, of course, because they got 2 kids. Her boys were still living with her. They were grown pretty much, 17 and 18. And she was all about her kids. She was all about her kids, her ex-husband, her house, the dogs, everything before the man. And the man's supposed to be first before all that dumb shit. And so I saw all of that stuff and I just wasn't interested. I'm just going to keep it 100. I wasn't, because it wasn't on my level. It just wasn't nothing on my level. Wasn't nothing to offer me. It wasn't nothing to offer no man that got his shit straight. Now, I listen to it. I listen to anybody. I'm going to sit there and hear your story, see what you're offering, see where you're at. Because for me, if it ain't good, it's just another story I can add to my stories. I'm getting something out of that deal. If I waste my time, I'm getting something out of that deal. To a lot of men, ladies, the cootie cat just ain't, it's not worth it for us. We don't want it. We don't care about it. Y'all think that that's a big deal. Like, that's everything to a man, to some men, not to all. Some of us have no problem getting that, so we gonna be picky and choosy when it come to who we want it from. And when you talk to men who already is on a certain level and done worked hard to get there, we could get whatever we want. We not here to sit there and cater to you because you offering us some of that. Every woman we date is giving us that. Every woman we date is giving us that. I'd rather buy out or something and just let you think what you think and just kind of withdraw and back away. And then you will just stop. And then I can just go on about my business. And you will think, oh, he didn't really, he really wasn't, pursuing me. He was boring. I don't care what you think. But if you ain't bold enough to have a real conversation with me, then, and you ain't nobody I'm marrying, I ain't sleeping with you, then I ain't really got to give you no real explanation. If we ain't really talking, I know it's going to hurt your feelings. And I don't mind hurting your feelings. I really don't. But I try not to. I try to spare certain people, po-sos. I try to spare some of them. I don't need help. They ain't offering nothing. You're overweight, out of shape, wrinkles, dents. Your time done passed you by a long time ago. I would love to still date a woman. I mean, if she was coming in and she had a great attitude and she cooked and she was, willing to give massages and she was, real clean. I believe she was clean. I don't think she was dirty. Cause that would have been a double N-O. I'd have got out of there quick. I don't think she was dirty, but she was clean. But she just had a real masculine, manly attitude, and she was just the type of dude she was sleeping with. Her mindset was on that same level as those dudes. People who display those characteristics of the people they talk about and keep dating those people because that's the mindset to the people to the level you on. That's the people you can attract because that's the people to the level you on. That's really what that is. That's the people to the level you on, whether you like it or not. That's the people you keep dating. That's the people you keep attracting. That's the people you attract and you can be around and have conversations with. That's the people to the level you on. You might say, well, she's a nurse and these street dudes. Everybody don't know how to communicate. Communication is most of your relationship. She's a nurse. Just because she's a nurse don't mean she's girlfriend material or wife material. Just don't mean that. Your job don't make you qualify for something. Ladies, you have to bring a little more to the table than just a job, especially a job you're not intending to help the man with or put your money in with his money to build with. Okay? You ain't offering nothing. All right? So it's like, it don't qualify her because she's a nurse. It don't mean that she's girlfriend material or she's wife material. To me, to be honest, if I would have dealt with her in any kind of way, looking at her body, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't good. I mean, she was kind of thick, but she just had all these dents and wrinkles and cellulite and all this shit, and I could have probably overlooked it if her attitude was good. But her attitude was horrible too. And she thought she was on a level she wasn't on. And If I would have done anything with her, it would have just been sex and that shit, recreational use only. It wouldn't have been nothing else. There ain't nothing else you can do with somebody like that. Period. Just saying. She talked like a hood nigga. She talked like a street girl. She didn't talk like a educated person. She knew how to do her job, but her communication skills when it came to a relationship, her relationship skills just weren't there. Just because you got a job don't make you educated. Translation, she didn't carry herself like a lady. She just didn't. She sounded more like a jump-off chick, more like a get-with, more like a hoe. And I just wasn't feeling it. Her communication skills, her attentive skills, her stuff just wasn't there for no man. She was looking for a man to fit in her schedule. Squeeze in. Come over, oh, do a quickie when I got my free time. What's that? Fitting in her schedule, ain't it? Come over when I'm off, when I got the time. What's that? Fitting in her schedule, right? You drive over here to see me. I don't want to have to come and get you. You know, I had to pick everybody up. I don't want to have to come. You telling me you went to pick up dudes and went all out to go get the penis and brought it to your house, right? That's the level you on. You not only want me to fit in your schedule, but you want me to drive and put in to fit in your schedule. Because now I got to put gas in my car and drive way over to your house just for some of that cootie catches you done gave to all these other guys that is below me in levels. That is below me, that don't got nothing. Think about it. You had to go get dudes that didn't have cars, that didn't take care of themselves. You now getting a dude that take care of himself, that got a car, and now you're offering him to pay a more expensive price than the men that's below him had to pay. Think about it. They didn't have cars. They didn't take care of themselves. They didn't have money if they didn't have cars. She had to put in money to go pick them up, to bring them to her house, sleep with them, and then take them back home. Feed them. She offering me food, maybe. She offering me food. She offering me some booty. But I got to put in. I got to come over. I got to fit in. And I take care of myself and got my own car and got my own decent with my money. Why would I want to do that? What is there in it for me? I can get a woman that has her own shit, that looks good, okay? That'll have some food cooked for me, that'll give me massages, that'll treat me like a king, and have shit ready for me with candlelights when I show up. Translation. Throw me a private one-on-one party. Throw me a private parade. Celebrate. Make it worth my while. Why would I accept this? Younger, in better shape, that look good, that's on the level I'm on. So for me too, I am bowing to accept this level. I am ducking down. I am lowering myself to deal with somebody on this level. You ain't offering me nothing to be there. If she was to herself, wasn't fucking niggas, act like a lady, was feminine, really nice, really catered to a man. See, you have to make up for the things you don't have when you want certain things from particular men. This is what I was looking to see. I wanted to see, what will she be bringing to the table? What does she have to offer a man like what she's describing she wants? Okay? What does she have to offer? And she didn't have nothing. She didn't have nothing. That's my point. That's my point. I'm trying to break this down in a way you ladies can understand it, so you can see where I'm coming from. You're offering the man with more to pay a more expensive price than the men below him, before him, had to pay. This is how us as men, we looking at it. You, the other guy, she went and picked up. She made him have food. She probably bought them food. Came over, got the business, sucked their penises, gave them the booty. This guy, you want him to come over, you want to look at him, you want to sit down, you want to rub on him, you want to admire him, but you want him to then get to business and do all the things you want them to do when you want them to do it, how you want them to do it. No. Nope. And hell to the no. Hell to the N-O. Okay? Not happening. Not happening, won't happen, and it didn't happen because I didn't do it. She wasn't offering me anything. She wasn't offering me nothing. But she thought she was. If you're not going to give anybody any of your money and you're not going to use any of your money towards the man, then you're offering the man with a value nothing. Ladies, nothing. See, when a man has the money and the stuff, he's going to pay. He's putting in his time. He putting in his energy. He putting in his money. He doing his resources. He getting you things. He going to pick you up. He paying for gas. He paying for you to go to a nice place. He's doing things with his money towards you. She ain't doing nothing. No, y'all ain't doing nothing with y'all money towards the man. Y'all putting y'all money in with the men that don't want to give y'all nothing, that ain't got nothing to give y'all, and ain't gonna give y'all nothing, that don't even want y'all, that wouldn't marry y'all. And the men that got the money, that's willing to put money towards you, that's willing to put in with you and do things for you, you don't want to put no money in to help him with nothing. That's what I say. It's backwards. You supposed to be putting in with the person that's putting in with you, not with the person that ain't putting in with you. You supposed to be chipping in and offering to pay with the person that's paying for you, not the person that ain't paying for you. Y'all want to suck the guy dry to the men that got it because they got it, and then say you've been giving it all your money and doing things for the men that you shouldn't have been talking to in the first place, that you knew don't have nothing. And that's y'all way. See, I got it. That's y'all way of saying, or I be helping. I look out. I look out for my men. I help my men. You help those niggas that didn't want nothing to do with you. You don't help the men that is helping you. Y'all backwards in y'all thinking. I don't know how y'all add 1 and 1 and make 2. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know where y'all get the y'all number from. Because it definitely ain't the number that it add up to be. It's like some other number. It's like 4 plus 4 is 32 instead of 8. Y'all just way on another page, and I don't understand it. So we don't care about your money. I'm proving it to you. I'm showing it to you. Okay? Your money don't mean nothing if you ain't giving a nigga $1. It just don't. Sorry. Anyway, I just needed to say that. It's a lot more I'm gonna add. I'm gonna say to this story, but my battery going low. I'm gonna get back to it, and I'm gonna finish this story because you gotta hear it. 2 things I also wanted to add about that as well. Her 2 boys, they lived with her, and that's why she was saying, oh, they're real polite, they're real mannerable. If you tell them to do something, they'll do it. That don't matter. And the part about her having a house, ladies, listen. Men and women look for different things in each other. We don't think the way that y'all do. For some reason, all y'all seem to think the way. For some reason, y'all all seem to think that we think the way that y'all do, that we want what y'all want. No. When you hear a good job and a house and a car and a career, that's y'all, what y'all look for in the man. But that ain't what a man looks for in a woman. We don't care about any of that stuff because you're not giving it to us. The only way your house would be beneficial to me is if my name was on it. If I invested money into helping you remodel shit inside your house, if I had money in that investment and it was shit in my name, that's the only way. But if it ain't in my name, I ain't invested nothing into your house, it ain't beneficial to me. Ladies and men want money, the car, the job, the house, the career, to take care of the people he loves, his future family, girlfriend or wife, and children. However, the women are not the same as us. They want the money to be independent of the man, so they won't need you. At least they think they won't need you, because everything requires maintenance. The cars, the house, everything requires maintenance. And a woman just doesn't, she not gonna do that. She can't do that. She don't want to do that. It's a lot of extra work on top of her stuff she already doing. And she don't want to do that. That's the part I don't get. You had a man that was doing, well, I do get it. You weren't attracted to him. So you went and got the unattractive man to help you get the stuff. And then once you got to the level you wanted to go to, you kicked him to the curb, and now you think you can get the attractive man because you make more money, so you qualify for more. You should have more. You deserve more. And it is far from your belief system that is so far from the truth. That's so far left. It's completely the opposite. A woman getting the money don't matter, because men don't value that in a woman. A man that's below you that ain't got nothing going might value it, but then what kind of man would that be? Not the man you guys describe. So again, the men you want with the money, you don't qualify for it. And I gotta say it because it's true. And it's a reality that you guys are learning the hard way at the end of the road. When you getting at the end, you didn't think about this ahead to say, well, what would those men that I want? And am I what the people that I want? Those are very important things, ladies. So when you in a relationship with a woman and you doing everything like her husband was, her husband basically put her through school, paid everything, she ain't had to worry about nothing. He did all the bills and all that stuff. And it was enough for her at the time. But once she got her school finished, got her degree, and then began doing her nursing and saw the money she could make, and it was more than him, she began to think she was better. And then he been paying and helped get that house, put all his time and money into that house. And then she starts to say, well, I'm making more now. I should be able to get a better person that I'm more attracted to, or a man now with money. Ladies, you getting a good job and a career does not qualify you for a man with money. Men with money don't want women with money. Men with money prefer to have a woman without the money, but with the looks. And she's submissive, not masculine. A woman with money, she wants to be in control. She wants to be the boss. That does not work with another boss. That works with a man that is below you. So now you qualify for average or below average men. You do not qualify for above average men, ladies. Most of the women who get the jobs want men that they can tell what to do. They can control and run the situation. How do you do that if somebody got more money than you and they don't need you and you don't pay nothing for them? If you got your money in your job for yourself and you're not finna get him some of your paycheck and share your accounts with him and your stuff with him, then why would the man with money care about your job? I'm trying to understand it, ladies. Why would a man with money care about your job that has no benefit to him, but all the benefit to you? I want to understand it, because y'all say this like it means something to the men, and it don't. You guys will overlook what a man look like for what he has and what he can do for you. However, a man will not overlook what you look like for what you got, because you ain't giving them shit. So you really ain't bringing nothing to the table. You just not. And I had to say that. And her contracting husband, I want to add this piece. For her husband that was the contractor, if he giving his kids $300 and some a piece in 2 weeks, and he's a contractor, and he getting rid of the workers to have the kids come work for him so he won't have to hire the workers, he ain't making no money. Because contractors make big money. He wouldn't be getting his kids $300 and some every 2 weeks, and they pretty much one is grown and the other one almost grown. He be giving them good money if they helping him at the job doing all this work, and he making good money, but he keeping them money because he trying to stay afloat to pay the child support, maybe the alimony. So he paying for a place that he don't even live in no more, and still trying to pay for the place he do live in. He trying to survive. She sitting over here acting like she big willing, she doing it all, and she did it all by herself when she used him to get there. And then cut his head off and took it from him. And now she's saying it's hers. And she got this and got that. Forgetting the fact that you were married all those years. And you built this and had this with the husband. And when you wanted him out, now you wanted him out, he had to go. But you get to keep the house and he couldn't. I mean, she talked like she was so above him. Oh, I bought the pool table from him because I didn't want him to move the pool table because it would have made the dining room not look as full. So it was already there. So I just bought it from him so that I could keep the dining room, with something in it. I mean, the way she talked was like she was way up here. And when she talking to somebody that got more, she was on the ground. I wasn't looking at her for no kind of relationship. I wasn't looking at her for no seriousness at all. Hearing what you just did to him, I'd be stupid to even get in anything with you, trying to build with you. No, you ain't finna entitle yourself to nothing I got. So I just needed to add that in there, and I had to cut her off. She was talking crazy. If I have to pay for it anyway, if I had to, I would rather have somebody with no children, less lived life, less smiles, less baggage, less mental problems. Because when you deal with men and go through years of stuff, you got mental baggage, mental drama. You're mentally unstable because you ain't ready to be with nobody because listen to how you talking. You not, it's less struggles to go through when you deal with a person that's younger. So I understand why the men are choosing the younger. I still would want an older, but I would want an older that either been married their whole life or with no kids and not as old. But if she was older and she looked good, I wouldn't care. If she was bad and she looked good and she didn't have all that mental stuff going on and she was more laid back and it wasn't about the money, I'd be cool with that. I'd be real cool with that. And she actually knew how to be submissive and cater to men. And she was real clean. And she got to give it up all the time. She bad too? Yeah, she got to give it up all the time. That's it. She give it up all the time. Whenever I want, I'm good. I mean, we real good. I'm Gucci. I'm Gucci. She gonna let me hacksaw Jim Duggan that thing whenever I want to. Yeah, I'd be real cool with that. That would be good. But it's like a dream to find somebody like that, unless you go overseas where they submissive and they're brought up to be submissive to men. Anyway, just had to throw that in there. So, fellas, when you're in a relationship with a woman and she says she wants to get a job, wants to go to school, pay attention to what she's saying. Because if she gets a good job and she comes out making more than you, she's going to kick you to the curb. And she's trying to get herself in position to do it. And the fact that she want to go get a good job and go to school sounds good. But it's because she's really trying to compete with you to see if she could be better. She ain't going to get the good job to help you with nothing and give money to you and put more in y'all house. She going to get the good job and better herself to see if she can get something better than you. Not understanding that her good job don't qualify her for the men with money, because men with money don't want a woman with good job. They're not looking for a woman who has a career. They're not looking for a partner. They're looking for a submissive, feminine, friendly woman with a good attitude who knows how to cater and listen to a man. And that is not masculine. A woman that makes a whole lot of money thinks she's a boss and she's masculine. And masculine is very difficult to deal with. I'm going to tell you, over and over I ran into it. It is a very difficult thing. You can't marry that. You can't live with that. Especially if they older and they like that, they're ruined. They're a lost cause. You won't even be able to save them. They already over the cliff. They gone. Ain't no building with that. There ain't nothing you can do with that. It's just too much masculine, not wanting to listen, not wanting to be submissive. It's just too much, and you just got to cut them and go. Just don't even waste your time. Don't even take the booty. You don't even want them cookies. You don't want them yams. Just go on. The only way you want that is if she good and she know how to do these things. Other than that, no. So, just saying.
Majority of women are absolutely delusional. They are.
How so?
But why? Well, they're delusional because they believe that there's this special man specifically for them.
Yes.
That will worship the ground that she walk on for eternity and not see any other woman besides her, and not have any sexual desire for another woman outside of her, and give her all of his money and all of his attention to her. And time. Yeah. And she believes that the older she gets, the more opportunity that she's going to face. You know why? Because she does not understand men.
You have the audacity to even ask for a man that's going to pay all of your bills for what? You obviously won't even bring that man peace, let alone some value. I mean, you sound like a walking problem.
They got coochie, Sarah.
And you look at this point, if he's paying all her bills, he could get that from a prostitute that looks better, sounds better, and treats him better. What does he need her for? And this is the problem. This is my problem with modern day women. You're so entitled with nothing to offer.